Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert, joined by my co-host, Joel Meyer. It's been a while, but we're back. How you doing, Joel?
It has been a while, and while we've been away, I've been a bad man. I've said this before on the show that during the COVID year 2020, with all the sports, I was bored all the time and just getting drunk and playing poker, playing blackjack, and invariably losing all the time, just thousands of dollars down the drains because I was bored and dumb. And finally, I realized I got to quit that. I got to stop it. So I went to all the accounts, got them to exclude me from all the casino bullshit, which are all rigged anyway, by the way, except for one of them. One of them didn't let me do it. I'd have to get rid of the sports account as well as the casino. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just put a little deposit limit on there just in case I go crazy again. I won't be able to drain it all away. But anyway, in that account were some Talkit bets that came in for Coach of the Year. So the account is flush. I'm drunk, and the casino's calling me, blackjack table right there. So I get after it. I'm going after it. And, thousands of dollars later, I'm in the hole. But thankfully, mercifully, I got out of it, just doubling, tripling down. And fuck, man. Like, as soon as it happens, as soon as any amount of money comes in there, it's just got to be immediate withdrawal because I cannot control myself. Fuck that book for not letting me exclude. But anyway, that was a harrowing experience, seeing a good portion of that Talkit profit, all the hard work just being undone in a matter of hours. That would have been brutal. But thankfully, we avoided disaster. And yeah, things are rolling along here. Very nice day out finally. It's been raining a little bit, but yeah, we're doing well. How about you? I know you were in Atlantic City. How was your trip?
Yeah, no, my trip was good. I mean, I was also I didn't lose thousands, but I lost a decent bit on the penny slots, which are definitely one of probably the most negative EV thing out there. But it's a good time. Sit down, get some free drinks. Have a good time. Good trip. Not great weather, so I mostly just stayed in the casino there. But yeah, that was good. Came back on my birthday weekend. That was good. And yeah, I mean, all that hard work of waking up betting those Talkit bets is hopefully it didn't go to all good or shit there. But yeah, it's been 3-4 games through each of these series. Been two great series so far. Excited to get to talk about them. But yeah, we're back here. It's been a week. I hope so. Yeah, we can hopefully get back into the swing of things here.
Yeah, I could have talked about a whole bunch of things, how golf went, how tennis is going. Well, I guess we could talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I meant immediately to the thing that's been, I don't know, the most pressing thing existentially. It's the stupid I'm being unable to control myself. But yeah, like, you're drunk out there, bored on the balcony. Nobody's talking to you. Like, okay, I'll fire up the blackjack. And then bad idea. But yeah, we're moving on. And yeah, I mean, I
those are completely rigged, by the way. Even like the quote unquote live dealer ones, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, they'll let you win a little bit, and then you get excited, and then they'll fucking hammer you. Then you're trying to get back in it, doubling down, and then that's when you really get in the whole. Do not do this, kids. Do not do this.
Yeah, we're getting into it in a little bit, but I thought you were going to go off with your Panthers bet you were sweating last night with the Rangers. Just, I'm not sure if you can call it getting lucky when it's just the goaltending carrying them. That's like, I don't know. There's debate there, but I mean they've been the much better team so far, and it's taken a lot for them to get back to even there. But we'll get into that more later on in the show. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast, or listen to your podcast, Apple or Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Like and comment there. All that good stuff. Yeah, make sure you check out the SGPN merch store till the end of the week. They're offering 15% off on everything. Got some SGP hats in there. Got some Hockey Gambling Podcast stuff. So use promo code SGPNMay, all one word there, to get 15% off of that merch. All right, Joel. So what have we seen so far? I guess we'll start with the Western Conference. Game 4 in that series tips off in about an hour here. But series so far, Edmonton won Game 1, double overtime. Dallas comes back in Game 2. And then Dallas, comes back again in Game 3 to win that 1-5-3. What are you seeing from the Stars?
Well, everything's going pretty much according to plan. I mean, as we expected things to go. The Stars lose game 1. The Oilers have some leaky goaltending. The Oilers have a strong push, but then can't close strong. Pretty standard stuff for these two teams. And yeah, I mean, the Oilers and they were awesome in that first period in game 3, but they couldn't maintain it. I don't know. They lost some energy. Maybe they're just feeling high when the Stars just like rallied back. They're comfortable being from behind. Like that's why I like these teams, the Stars and the Panthers. Because even when they're losing, they don't lose focus. They don't get uncomfortable. Somebody said they're comfortable when in uncomfortable situations or something like that, and that's exactly true. And you like to be back in teams like that because you're never out of it. Like when the Panthers were down 1-0, it was like, okay, it's just the Rangers. They allow like 1,000 chances per game. We'll be all right. But yeah, the Stars, they're a very resilient team. Of course, we know they're deep and all that. I mean, their defense is definitely a liability though with Petrovic and Studer back there. But as long as Heiskanen and Tanev keep doing the Lord's work on their end, they'll be okay because their forward depth is insane. I mean, there's no way the Oilers can match up with them when they're, on paper, the third line, the Jimmy Benn, Stankoven, Wyatt Johnston are basically their first line. I mean, they're unstoppable. They've been one of the best lines in all playoffs, and that's just a testament to the Stars' depth. So, yeah, things are going great there. Yeah, Darnell Nurse is getting fucking reamed by the Canadian media because he's getting paid nine and a quarter, and he's playing like somebody who's been worth 2 and a quarter. But that's what'll happen when you give a guy who's not worth that much, and the player too. Like he's pissed off at the media today for getting all these harsh criticisms. But if you take the big paycheck, you got to be you got to expect to be criticized, castigated when you're not playing up to it. So it just comes with the paycheck. And those are just a few random thoughts that came into my head on that series.
Yeah, if you want to coast by on a big contract, you got to get to free agency, sign in Anaheim, and just go there and just go into the sunset there with your money, like we saw what Killorn and Gudas do there. Yeah, but I mean the Stars. I mean it's only one player, but Rupe Hintz getting back there in Game 3, we saw what difference he made, picking up 2 assists on Jason Robertson's 2 goals. Jason Robertson went on to have a hat trick. It's just it's only one player, but it puts the team. It gives them so much more depth, like you said. That third line, Ben Johnson, Stankoven, second line, Marchment, Duchesne, Pavelski. Like they have 3 great lines. Their fourth line can grind. Their defense is good. I know they still have Petrovic and Suter there in the third pair, but Ottinger had his one bad game in Game 1, as he tends to do, which wasn't even that bad, giving up 3 goals in 5 periods. But since then he's really bounced back. And the thing with the Oilers is just like they go up and then they go into this posture where it's like they're going to blow the lead. Like you just see it coming. You see the Stars building, similar to what the Panthers do with the Rangers, but just the Rangers have Shesterkin and good defense, and the Oilers have Skinner, who can have some good games, but hasn't been too great so far. Yeah, we kind of also saw this same thing last series with Boston winning Game 7 against the Leafs in the first round, Game 1 against the Panthers, and the Panthers taking it to them. Kind of seeing that here with Edmonton. They won, Game 6 and 7 against Vancouver to win that series, build on that momentum in Game 1. But Dallas has been a great road team too. I think they're like 7-1. I know Dallas, the Mavericks have been great on the road too, up until last night in Minnesota.
They're just happy to escape Dallas. That's what it is.
Yeah, they're happy to get out of Texas. Can't blame them down there. But yeah, the Stars team is looking more and more like the team we've expected, and this is why they're the Stanley Cup favorites right now.
Yeah, going back to Rupe Hintz, we got to credit Rick Bowness, of course, his old coach. He was saying that Robo. By the way, we got to quit with the J-Rob shit. That sounds like a basketball name. His actual hockey name is Robo, so that's what we're going with from now on. He was saying that Robo will get going when Hintz comes back because they're tied at the hip. Like he's played with Hintz his whole career, and you can see that they have an instantaneous chemistry and an instantaneous benefit when Hintz comes back to the lineup with that hat trick there. Hintz 2 assists. So yeah, that's massive getting Hintz back. He was wasn't nominated for the Selke, but he definitely received a lot of votes for it. And maybe a low key guy I'll be looking at next year if we could find some markets finally for the Selke next season. But anyway, Rupe Hintz back in the lineup is massive. Excellent matchup guy. he'll do even more work against McDavid, who has struggled. I mean, he's been awesome, actually, to be fair, but it's just hard when he's going against such a detailed plan. Like Peter DeBoer is an excellent coach. That's why, you were saying, like, your stupid line, the stars get brighter as the series goes longer. A lot of that has to do with Peter DeBoer and how smart he is as a coach, making the adjustments and whatnot. Now that he has Hintz back in the lineup, that'll make his job easier. So, yeah, he'll be able to slow down McDavid some more. And, yeah, I expect the Stars to win. I bet the Stars in game 2, bet them at game 3, and I bet them against the night, as well as I hit the Wyatt Johnson goal in game 3. We're going back to the well. Wyatt Johnson goal in game 4. That's what we're doing tonight. Game puck drops in about an hour and 20 minutes. So, yeah, we're pumped for that. Let's go Stars. Let's get the job done. I don't know why the Oilers got all the money. Like, okay, they're desperate, whatever. But the Stars are the better team. They shouldn't be plus 115, plus 120 dogs.
No, it's the McDavid money, yeah. And we don't podcast for a week. Joel starts betting goal scorer props, playing blackjack. I guess we got to make sure we're podcasting, keeping you grounded there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now before game 4 here, Stars minus 250, Oilers plus 240. I mean, this is shelf life of an hour here, but Stars probably too much juice to lay, but yeah, like you were saying with DeBoer, like he's a good coach. He has pieces to play with, and like all Knoblauch can do is maybe put Draisaitl and McDavid together during the game at a few points to do that, but then the Stars' depth just comes right back on them. I saw there was speculation that Nurse could even be scratched tonight for Philip Broberg going back in or going to 11-7. So we'll see what happens
what the highest paid player to be healthy scratched for is. That's got to be up there.
Yeah, he definitely has to be up there
in a playoff game.
Yeah. All right, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, like assists, shots on goal, blocks, and more. You can make entries of all hockey or mix and match to win up to 100 times your money. New customers going to pick them special in the lobby when they sign up. So sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, then moving over to the Eastern Conference Series here. We saw the Panthers tie that one up in overtime in game 4, 3-2 win. Sam Reinhart ended that one pretty early. Panthers have been the better team, been the much better team, shot attempts, shots on goal. But Shesterkin, I mean, it's not luck when your quote unquote strategy is okay, rely on our goaltender and capitalize on chances. And that's what they've been doing. Their special teams is definitely going to be tested now when the whistles go away, as we saw, late in all these games. And, Panthers finally got a Blake Wheeler back in the lineup, took the penalty there in overtime. Barkov was like 0 for 5 on breakaways against Shesterkin last game. But Joel, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, you could blame Wheeler for the penalty, but not really, because the Banijad was the horrible turnover, put him in that position. It was either take the penalty or give up that massive chance. So we put it all on Ziba. And to his credit, he took the blame for it. It's my fault. This series has been far more complicated than the other one. The other one's gone pretty straightforward according to plan. This one has been up and down. You feel great. You feel great after game 1 with the Panthers absolutely dominant. They've been dominant all series, but game 1 they actually got the result. You never have to sweat it. But game 2, game 3, game 4, the Panthers are the better team in all these games. Even game 2, the Rangers won the first period, but it was all Panthers after that. And game 3, game 4 in Florida. Game 3, the Panthers had 90 to 30 shot attempts, and I read that Matthew Tkachuk had 54 to 4 when he was on the ice. Like that. Insane. And the Rangers still won. Credit to Igor. The goalie is a part of the team, to their credit, but it's not something I use when I'm betting. I don't just bet the who's got the better goalie. Like, this isn't the late 90s anymore. So the Panthers deserve to be at least 3-1 in this series, but it's not. It's tied 2-2, whatever. Finally got the OT goal. Sam Reinhart, that was a massive relief. That was my biggest bet of the playoffs, winning when the Panthers in Game 4. I needed that. But yeah, this series is lopsided. Like, if you look at every metric, the Panthers are the better team. Rangers keep turning the puck over. They're terrible defensively. The Panthers are getting every single look, but the Rangers, the few looks they do have, they're capitalizing on them. So credit to them for that. Bobrovsky's got to be better. I heard that Shesterkin has a save percentage of .962 when the game is tied, and Bobrovsky is a sub 900. So that it's hard to win games with that. So just get that up to 910, Bob. Come on, and then Shesterkin can't maintain a 962. That's unreal. So yeah, Panthers all the way, -135. Still like that. Better team. I'll still be betting them all day long, all night long. And yeah, we could talk about the Conn Smythe later, but yeah, the Panthers is a better team. Simple as that. They're beating them in every single aspect of the game except for goaltending, and unfortunately, that's why the series is tied.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of Game 1. I was just following along in the box score. I saw 1-0 for a while, and the Panthers pulled away late. Got a chance to watch the other 3 games, and was pretty frustrated with how the Panthers just could not put their chances away. You know, even when they have been the much better team in pretty much all 3 games. And you know, game 3 there in Florida with the high scoring first period definitely surprised me there a little bit. But yeah, Panthers much better team, deeper team, much like the Stars, but the Rangers, instead of their superstar being McDavid and Draisaitl, they have Shesterkin and net. And you know, that I think that can only carry you so far. But I mean, you see in the playoffs year after year, a goalie get hot, win 16 games. That's all you need. 16 wins, and you win the Stanley Cup. And that's why the playoffs.
But they're not the winner. They're not the winner. They can go on deep runs, but you don't see. I mean, the Binnington with the Blues, was that the last one? But I don't know. I think the Blues were a better team than the Rangers. It just doesn't happen anymore. Like, okay, they can go on deep runs, but they're not the winner. That's why I'm still going against the Rangers every step of the way, because I don't think that they're going to win the whole thing just with the goaltending.
Yeah, and their top guys, Zibanejad and Kreider, I think have 0 points so far in this series through 4 games. I saw ESPN put up a graphic that Bobrovsky has 1 point, and those two guys combined have no points in this series. So they're not getting things done. But credit to Vincent Trocheck, he's really stepped up in these playoffs, and Alexis Lafreniere as well is really having a breakout year that we should probably build on next year.
Kreider gets credit. He gets a point though for throwing Kachuk's mouthpiece into the crowd. It was Kreider, right? I'm pretty sure. Did you hear about that?
I saw today that Kreider was like, "Oh, I don't remember it," and Kachuk was like, "Yeah, that was his best play of the game." But I saw a Sportsnet tweet that said if it had gone into the crowd, Kreider would have got a game misconduct. I don't know if that's like if you throw like an opponent's like equipment into the crowd, you get game misconduct. But I would have been interested to see if that actually went in the crowd, if they would have done that, because I couldn't see it happening. But you know, if it's in the rule book, if delay a game gets called like in crappy situations, so you never know.
Well, I hate that shit. Like Steph Curry, Matthew Tkachuk, these guys just have their mouth guard half out their mouth. Like, what's the fucking point? Then just don't wear it. I don't get it. I mean, I guess it looks cool. You're chewing on it. You don't give a fuck running down the ice. But yeah, I think it looks dumb, not cool.
Yeah, it's like an accessory. I don't get it there, but yeah, Panthers have gotten contributions from a few different guys. Reinhart, obviously, with a big power play goal there on Tuesday night. Like you said, Bobrovsky does have to be better. I mean, he's been fine, but when you're going up against Shesterkin, you need more than that, and he'll need more than that in the Stanley Cup final if it's Panthers Stars as well with Ottinger and Bobrovsky. I mean, two deep teams there. So, Game 5 Thursday night should be a pretty big one for the Rangers. I have to imagine it's pretty close to a must-win for a Game 5 in a 2-2 spot. If the Panthers go up 3-2, heading back home Game 6, could very well be the series over there. But Game 5...
we need to talk about the road teams thing, though. Like, this playoffs, like, the home team started 7-1, and ever since then, it's been dominated by the road teams. So it's like home ice doesn't even matter anymore, at least not this year. I mean, smaller sample size, but it's getting increasingly that way over the years where the teams at home, they lose a lot of them. And this year, especially these teams on the road, like the Stars and the Panthers in particular, just killing teams on the road. So yeah, I mean, I'm almost just like, just throw out the home ice advantage. It's just that you can actually get an advantage against the market just betting the road team because of the price factor did. Like the Panthers were minus 165, minus 170 2 days ago, and now they're minus 120 because of a change of venue and maybe a little bit more desperation for the Rangers. But no, that's just another reason to bet some more Panthers. So I'm not going to use home ice advantage really going forward.
Yeah, home ice advantage. I don't know if it's just overrated or if this is just like a kind of a one-off year. But I mean, even with the Panthers, like Rangers fans have taken over the Panthers building. Like there has not been a home ice advantage there.
Oh, I gotta get into that. I could do it now.
Go ahead. How are you enjoying these Southern teams, Joel?
Yeah, well, this was one of the things I thought about to open the show with, but the Panthers Rangers game being on at noon PST, 3:00 on the East Coast, because of Sunday Night Baseball. I'm told that's the reason the ESPN has a contract to show those games at night. The game that was delayed and a blowout, whatever, regular season baseball. That was the best game of the entire playoffs to me. That 5-4 win for the Rangers. That was the most entertaining, fun game. Highly skilled. Everything was on display there. It had fights. It had huge hits. Everything that would capture the imagination, the attention of the casual fan, and it was buried on a matinee on a holiday weekend there in the States, where far fewer people would get to see it rather than on a Sunday night. And if you want to grow the sport, then that stuff's got to be headline. Right? It's the playoffs. You got to prioritize that over regular season baseball game, 1 out of 174, however many there are. It doesn't mean much compared to a best of 7 series game. I think the sport needs to be highlighted more if they want to talk about growing the sport, and that's why I had a problem with that. And I don't know if you agree or not.
I completely agree. Like having that at 3, especially for West Coast people at noon is way too early. Like at least push it to 5 Eastern, and so it's 5 and 2. But yeah, I think there's a lot that NHL could do to make sure these games are seen by the biggest audience possible. Like I'm not sure if they can do much with like the 8 p.m. start times, 8:30 during the week, because I know the West Coast has to watch it too. But like those games don't end till 11 or 12, which is when most people are already in bed, so they're missing most of that. But I know the NBA does the same thing, so like, you can't argue against that. But I don't hate the weekend, earlier games to get a bigger crowd. But yeah, if it's a big game like that going up against baseball, I mean, come on, you gotta go with the playoff game. But that goes to my point that ESPN is just killing the NHL. Their intermission coverage is awful. Their broadcasts are usually pretty bad. They're not.
I don't mind PK and Messier. They're not. They're better than a lot of the Sportsnet guys anyway. You don't like them
compared to
PK
TNT. I like TNT.
Yeah, TNT's better.
Yeah. I think if ESPN
the commentators, the play-by-play and the color commentators, useless.
Yeah, I feel like if ESPN had one more person on that panel to kind of bounce it off each other rather than just being Levy as the host and PK and Messier who can have their own interesting takes. Like they had like one more person, and I'm not sure who else it could be, but like because TNT has what? TNT has 5, including the host, and ESPN has 3. So you don't want to have too many, but you're seeing the difference there.
4, I think, right? There's Lee McHugh, Biz, Ace, Anson Carter, and then Henrik usually, right?
Yeah, and they have Gretzky there for a bit too now. He's usually there. Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a bit. Anyway, 4 or 5 doesn't matter. I agree with you there. Finally, parting shots at the Panthers fan base. Can't go without it. Seeing fans in Sunrise there wearing OSU shirts and whatever because they have the same colors. The Panthers, they don't have any Panthers merch. That's hilarious to me. And of course, getting overrun by all the Rangers fans. It's like, what's going to happen when you're not showing the sport? You're not really growing the fan base anyway. And honestly, I don't give a shit. I don't want to grow the sport. The sport's fine the way it is. I like it up here. Let the fans who actually love the sport enjoy it. And but come on, give us primetime games. Like the Canadians who don't going to show up American baseball, they got to wake up early, or not wake up early, but they got to do other stuff during the day instead of watching the game. So that's why I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've also seen ESPN in their post game graphics. I've seen them posted on Twitter or Reddit. Like they have like the player like Shesterkin, but the background is a Panthers background, or like they have the player listed on the wrong team or something like that. It's just basic knowledge that the producer or whoever should check through before, for a conference final game. All right, we are brought to you by Rhythm. If you're betting on NBA player props, you need to download Rhythm. It gives you the menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm pairs its predictions with player prop graphs to help you feel even more confident in your picks, which you can make wherever you normally place your bets or DFS picks. Rhythm also allows you to create your own custom NBA models. You can get AI-backed money line, spread, and total picks for every playoff game. Start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you get your apps. All right, I have another complaint here. It's probably because I mostly follow definitely a lot more Rangers fans than Panthers fans on Twitter, if there even are Panthers fans on Twitter. Like I see a lot of people complaining about like these late game officiating calls / non-calls. Specifically, I've seen the video of Capo Caco getting tripped or whatever with like 10 seconds left. People are like, oh, if they called that, it would be on a power play going into overtime, probably win it. But you can go back to the past 5 minutes and like I'm watching through a Panthers lens and like I see things where it's like, okay, that would be a penalty in the regular season. I understand it's not now. You can't get upset about it, but that's just what the playoffs have become. It's become like, especially in late close games, late in these series, they let the players play and they know that. I'm not sure if there's a way to solve it or make it better for the fans because it does somehow seem arbitrary at times. Like the one thing I thought about, which is not realistic, but like it's how it works for the refs sometimes. Like if there are so many like ticky tack things and they eventually just add up, they call something like they like in mic'd up situations they've said that like that's been like, didn't call you that, you're getting close there. Like if that was something where the fans were aware of that, or if the fans just weren't idiots when like, oh, they missed that call, if they screwed me over. No, the Rangers were in the defensive zone. They didn't have the puck, and you get more penalties against you when you don't have the puck, and that's just how it works.
Yeah, the fans are dumb because they want the game to be like objective, like entirely objective, like it's a computer process. No, these are human beings playing games. Everything's subjective. I treat bad calls, good calls, whatever. It's a bounce of the puck. Like it's the same thing. It goes one way, goes your way, it goes against you the other time. It's more or less random. But the people who just want to make everything objectively, it's got to be 100% certain. We got to call everything. We got to make sure we do the right things consistently. Have the game call as it is in the regular season. They don't understand the real beauty of the playoffs, the way that the players can check harder, hit harder, and do a lot more dirty things than they do in the regular season. And I think that's what makes the playoffs a lot better to watch. And me, I like 5-on-5 hockey the best. I don't want to see all these 5-on-4s half the game. I want to see things settled 5-on-5. That's the way the sport is meant to be played. Obviously, you have to call some penalties, but save them for the more egregious offenses. And we don't want to turn this game into like robot umps, right? If I were a baseball fan, I wouldn't care about the umps, whatever. Just it's just a bad bounce, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about baseball. I don't know what I'm saying, but it sounds like the same kind of thing where you want to roboticize it, where you want to make everything mechanical. But I prefer to keep the flow of the game the way it is. Let the refs make the call, and if it's bad enough, 99% of the time it's going to be called. So yeah, okay, you get away with the trip here and there, high stick, whatever. But no, like even the offside, like a goal being changed because the guy was 1 inch offside. It just makes no sense to me. It's the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. So yeah, if the guy's a foot offside, the ref is obviously going to call it offside to begin with. You don't need to go to a video for that. But yeah, don't get me started on that shit again. But yeah, no, I have zero problem with the reffing. I'm just not interested at all in that aspect of the game. But I understand fans are fans. They want to complain about something out of their control. They don't understand, I don't know, the way the world works. Like the bad shit happens. So get used to it. And that happens too in the sport of hockey. So yeah, I'm totally fine the way the game is officiated. Well, not totally fine. There's obviously individual calls, but in a macro sense, no, I have no problem whatsoever with the officiating these days.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more fed up with the video reviews and like having to wait for a goal, having to wait for the puck to be dropped before being like, okay, that goal is going to count. That's the worst thing, especially when the goal is like down near the goalie and they're digging away at it. Like, oh, are they going to call something? And then you have to deal with like this. Oh, did the puck hit a high stick on the way in? Is there a missed stoppage? Like, that's just stuff where if it wasn't, like you said, if it wasn't called in the moment and it's not obvious, let it go. Like just let it go. Get the egregious calls right. There's not gonna be anything horrible, but like, get some human element. But not even necessarily human element. Just like, okay, the goal's in. It looks like a goal. It's a goal. Like that's all it should be.
Right. Yeah. I mean, going back to the video review thing, it's like even these overtime goals in the Panthers Rangers series, like you see the coaches and the team, they're not leaving the bench on the losing team. So you're like, oh shit! Like if you're a Rangers fan, you're like, what's going on? But even though it's clearly a goal, I mean, game 3, I think it was where, or was it game 2? I don't remember where it looked like it hit his hand or something when it deflected in the net. But obviously, it's not even close. But you do get that concern if you're a fan of the Rangers or a better when you see that a team just like standing there and it's okay, fine, we're gonna get another review here. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I'd rather have the pure joy, the decision immediately as soon as the puck hits net and the referee signals goal. That's the only thing I have to say on that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you saw or heard about, but the PWHL in the game 4 of their final series, the team thought they won it all. They thought they won the Walter Cup, and then it was in double overtime, I think it was, and it was called back for goal interference. And game 5, winner take all game 5 is tonight now. I think that helped Boston. So Boston now is a game 5 tonight.
Who are they playing?
Minnesota, I think. I want to say.
Again, this is not a PWHL podcast, clearly. But I'm pulling out for our Swedes, though. They got fucking run over by the Czechs in the semifinals in the World Championship. That was brutal waking up to that. Didn't watch it, but that was a 7-3 or something like that. Shout out to the Czechs, though. They were an incredible team. And the Swiss, too. Like, they beat Canada and then lost to the Czechs 1-0, I think, in the final. So, yeah, I figured a European team would win. I just picked the wrong ones. We should have gone with the Central Europeans there. But, oh, well, it was in Prague, so it makes sense. And they had a hell of a celebration, too. Like, that's why I like the European teams for that, because they care a lot more than the Canadians and Americans going over there just to party, basically. That's what they want to do in the World Championships. But, no, Euros take that seriously. So, shout out to the Czechs.
Yeah, I feel like if the World Championships were like a month or a few weeks later, it'd be a lot better. Like even if it like overlapped with the Stanley Cup final, when you have like a night or two off, you can focus on that. But yeah, good for the Czechs. Good for Pasta finally winning something there.
If and they don't get to go to the Four Nations face-off next year.
Yeah. they're not one of the top 4 nations.
Why couldn't it be 8? I don't know why it has to be 4. Because it's too long, I guess. I don't know.
8 probably too many. Maybe like a 6 and go like round robin or something. But whatever. The NHL fucks everything up.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we never got into a game 5. Game 5 of the Panthers Rangers. Panthers -120, Rangers +105. Over under 5.5. Over paying off +110. Under at -130. Do you have any plays for this one besides just Panthers?
Oh, not really. I keep it simple for the most part, unless it's Wyatt Johnston anytime goal. No, I've said everything really. Panthers been dominating this series, winning all aspects of the game except for the goaltending. And Igor, I don't know. He's just like, can he play any better? Like, you're not going to get better goaltending, so you got to expect him to maintain the same pace of play if you want to back the Rangers here. And I don't think that's realistic. So the depressed, cheap price of -120 when the Panthers were playing with -165, -170 money line in the previous one. I think that's a discount. So, yeah, give me the Panthers all day long here. Much better team. Going to be backing them to the bitter end. And, yeah, I mean, maybe the Rangers guys, the Stars step up. They get some key goals on the power play especially. We know how lethal that is. They finally got in the board after a long slump in the last game. So the Panthers got to stay disciplined, stay out of the box, play good defense like they have all series. They'll be just fine. But yeah, Rangers are a volatile team. So if they get that power play going and more elite goaltending, they could definitely win this game. But I'm going to back the better team all day long at a cheap price of -120.
Yeah, I mean Panthers -120 in this game, still -135 for the series. So you see how the market respects them. So yeah, I mean, like you said, with the odds moving this much with the home ice advantage, that hasn't really been too advantageous. You got to go Panthers -120. I'm kind of talking myself into the over, but I don't know if you can do that with Shesterkin and Bob and net. Rangers at home, probably going to play a more tighter game, not allowed too many chances, a lot more just mucking it up. Matt Rempe's getting fucking glorified every time he goes on the ice and makes a regular hockey play. I hate that as well.
Winning a face-off.
Yeah, winning a face-off.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it, to be honest.
Yeah, but yeah, Panthers probably not playing the total, but don't hate -130 on under 5.5 is just too much juice to pay, I think. So gonna stick with the Panthers.
Yeah, I would only bet the under for the total. Yeah, game 3. That's another thing that fucked it up with that early start is the quick turnaround, right? You saw how loose the teams played defensively, goaltending a little bit shaky, especially from Bobrovsky, because of the early start. I think that had something to do with it. That's why you saw a nine goal game in what has been a fairly low scoring series. So I think it goes back to the unders. So that's the only thing I'd bet. I didn't bet it. I'm not going to bet it. But if you want to bet it, I would bet the under.
Okay. All right, we can look at some Conn Smythe stuff now. I got the odds up here. Jake Ottinger is the favorite, which I'm not sure if he should be. I know the Stars are the favorite, and people think he'll win it if the Stars win the Cup. Plus 370, Shesterkin 550, Barkov 8-1, McDavid, Heiskanen both 950, Kachuk 10-1, Draisaitl and Bob 14, Johnston 15, Aho 17. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, as usual, I think the Panthers and the Stars are likely teams to win the Cup. So those are the players that I'd look to bet. And I agree that Ottinger is too short still. Do not get it. I know he's been absolutely insane on the road. Like the one game that the Stars lost, I think he only gave up one goal in that 2-0 win for the Knights there in the first round. But still, he has a few bad games in him, and there's enough other stars doing great things that they can overtake him with some outstanding performances. As long as they don't, muddle around, cluster around the middle, and just end up with the same amount of points or whatever. I think that one guy will stand out. I think that guy is Wyatt Johnston still 15-1 there. I think that that's a good bet. I know Robo, our guy, your guy, I should say.
Yeah, he's still there, 25-1.
25-1, yeah, after a hat trick and now back linked with Hintz again. We could see him take off. So far, I've only bet Johnston for the Stars, and I'm gonna stay put on that for now because there's still a little bit too much uncertainty. But that was a great bet, 50-1 on Robo there. But now at 25-1, it's getting a little bit closer. But yeah, I could definitely see the logic there. And the Panthers side, I think that Barkov is the most deserving, but that doesn't mean anything. And when you're handicapping what the voters will do, but yeah, he had a kind of sloppy game offensively, I thought, in game 4. Actually, the first period of the Panthers, I forgot to say this, but they all looked like they had butter on their sticks the way they were fumble fucking the puck the whole time. Like they looked nervous, but thankfully they grew into the game and were able to overcome that. But him in particular, he missed a couple clear opportunities there because of that issue. But still, like he had an assist on the game-winning goal, and he's definitely up there with Kachuk. I think Barkov and Kachuk are the two best bets. I think Kachuk at slightly better odds would be my guy for the Panthers. I would stay away from Bobrovsky, and yeah, and Reinhardt. I bet him a little bit more, 66-1. Why not? Because this guy is a firecracker. He can get hot. He's got a bunch of goals already. Is he on the list there?
Apparently he's 125-1 at Canby Books, but if 50-1 elsewhere. So
yeah, 100-1 or better on Reinhardt, definitely. I mean, I bet him again 66-1. So yeah, Reinhardt is definitely an option. I know he's struggling in the early part of the series, but yeah, he got another goal here, and he was awesome in game 3 as well. So that'd be a good bet to make. I mean, I like all the Panthers. Like Verhaeghe at 30-1. It's pretty good. Because Ottinger and Shesterkin are sucking up all the juice in this market, and it's giving us a lot better prices than these skaters. So that's the way I would attack the Conn Smythe market at this point.
Yeah, I mean Reinhardt 125-1 is definitely not a bad bet. Put a few bucks on that because we saw it last year with Marchessault. We saw him, not do too much in the first few rounds, scored the key goals, and then by final game of the finals he was like minus 500, minus 1,000. It was insane there. It does seem like by this clinching game of the Stanley Cup final, the writers have like a hive mind of who's going to win it. So I'm not too worried about like the votes getting spread out. But I mean, the Panthers, Tkachuk 19 points, Barkov, Verhaeghe both have 17. Reinhardt has 12, but 8 of them are goals, some big goals there. So yeah, they're all in it. Verhaeghe 30-1, Reinhardt 125, probably my two favorite picks right now, just because they're longer odds. But if Tkachuk and Barkov have the most points, it could be interesting to see if they give it to the arguably better player in these playoffs, Barkov, or kind of the face of the team, Tkachuk. And I could see Tkachuk getting it just after what he did last year and this year so far. But yeah, I don't think.
And he's on the Pat McAfee show.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, for the American voters anyway.
Yeah, Bob 14-1. That's probably where he should be. I don't see him winning it. And yeah, Ottinger plus 370 is way too short. Rangers, Shesterkin plus 550. I think if they win it, it's going to be him. So take that now rather than getting them for the cup at worse odds. I think plus 550. I'm going to check what their cup odds are right now.
Definitely worse.
Yeah, they're plus 385 for the cup. So I can't really see anyone stepping up too much for the Rangers with how they've won.
Yeah, especially lately with their stars slacking. Yeah, Igor would be the bet if you like the Rangers, which I do not.
Yeah, and then Oilers, I'm seeing giving them less and less of a chance, but McDavid 950, Draisaitl 14-1. I saw someone said Bouchard was like third in Conn Smythe voting. I think it was an ESPN poll. He's 50-1. I can't see a world where he wins it over McDavid and Draisaitl, but stranger things have happened. Hyman has 13 goals. I'm not sure where he's at. I couldn't see him winning it because he's a great player, but like he's up there with McDavid. So yeah, you like McDavid at 950 or Draisaitl at 14-1 if you had to pick one.
I think I still go McDavid. Like after the first few games of this series, he's been the best player for the Oilers. I mean, historically, the past couple of years, Draisaitl, I think, has edged out McDavid, and that reflects in the point totals. But this series, McDavid has really stepped up his game. So now that the odds are a lot closer, like when it was McDavid 8-1 and Draisaitl 30-1, absolutely, you go with Draisaitl there. I mean, I got to eat my words a little bit because I said no way in the before the playoffs started, but after a series and a half, and I saw the error of my ways and saw that Draisaitl is absolutely a playoff demon, and he could absolutely win the Conn Smythe even ahead of Connor McDavid. But now that the odds are so close together, you got to go with McDavid. He's the guy. Everyone wants to vote for him, and now that he's playing like this, like he's carrying the team really, and that's a large reason why Hyman has so many goals. So yeah, I would go with McDavid over Draisaitl at this point.
Yeah, I think Draisaitl his nagging injury might be catching up with him with all the wear and tear. Like looking at the Oilers game log since game 1 against Vancouver, they've played every other night except they had 2 nights off between the series. So like they've played 10 games in 21, 22 days here. I mean, not sure what his injury is, but he was questionable to miss a few games there. So that could definitely be hampering him as well. And yeah, McDavid really stepped it up last game. He needed to after having nothing really the game before that. So I think if the Oilers win it all, it'll be McDavid taking over again.
Agreed.
All right. Anything else you want to get into here before we close it out? When's the French Open final?
Oh, it's not for another week and a half. We're just in the early days here, especially since this fucking raining so much. I think most of the matches were canceled today. It was pouring rain out. You could actually hear the raindrops pouring down on the Philippe Chautier court. I think that's how you say it. with I was watching Iga Swiatek narrowly escape a disaster against former world champ Naomi Osaka, who apparently played the best match she's played in years. She took some time off, and she was never a great clay player to begin with. So I guess Iga took her as lightly as I did, because I didn't think they actually had a chance. The market certainly didn't. She was minus 2,500 before the match, so I was fucking sweating because Iga was down. Yeah, like my buddy Bulljacks, he was in there in a certain Discord server sweating with me. She was down a break in the final set, and thankfully she won 3 straight games, I think, to win it all in the third set there. So thankfully all our Iga bets survive another day, and hopefully we don't have to sweat that again, at least until the final when she plays Sabalenka or sort of Rybakina, hopefully. But yeah, a lot of rain. Hopefully we get some matches in tomorrow. And yeah, it'll be fun going down the stretch. On the men's side, my guy Yannick Sinner, he won again today, but once again he's clutching his stomach. He's sweating. He looks so exhausted after 3 sets. I don't think he's going to go the distance, unfortunately for us holding Sinner tickets. But yeah,
how's Casper looking?
Oh, Casper Ruud, yeah, he's fine. He's only played 1 match so far, I think. But yeah, he's still alive, and Djokovic does not look good. So yeah, that'll be his main competition in the first quarter. So Ruud is on track. We're good there.
All right, that's good. We'll definitely keep you guys updated through next weekend when the finals are. Yeah, I saw there's some golf tournament this weekend where it's like Rory and no one else. So Rory's a huge
Canadian Open, some golf tournament. Maybe that's where Talon is.
Possibly, yeah.
Prepping for the Canadian Open. It's in his neighborhood, I think.
Yeah, maybe Talon's gone. Maybe Talon's joining it. Who knows? But yeah, speaking of Talon, hopefully we'll all be back either tomorrow or Friday. Gotta get the schedule back. We'll be back on track after this week off. I don't have any more vacation planned. I know you're going away at some point, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I go to Germany on June 17th, and that's the last date that the Stanley Cup Finals can be played. So if there's a Game 7, I'm missing Game 7 because I'm on a flight to the old country.
I thought it was the 24th was the last day.
Oh, don't tell me that.
That's what I thought.
No. Yeah, that would make more sense, though, because we're only at May 29th, and there's still a few games to be played.
Yeah, ABC.
And the June 6th is when the NBA Finals starts.
Yeah.
I might miss some games. Or I'll have to be cooped up in my bedroom there at 2 a.m. with my laptop out, hooked up to my phone with the hotspot, using up all the data to watch these hockey games. Oh, my word. Yeah. There's not going to be any German bars showing that.
Yeah, it starts Saturday the 8th. So
what? The 8th?
Starts 8th, 10th, 13th, 15th. So you'll be able to watch 4 games. Game 5 on the 18th, Game 6 on the 21st, and Game 7 on the 21st.
I swear, before the playoffs, they said the last date would be the June 17th, but I guess they changed it. Those fucks. Oh well, I'll be staying up late in Europe there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll have you guys cover over the next few weeks through the conference final and the beginning of the Stanley Cup final. So make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcasts, YouTube as well. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple. Haven't got one of those in almost a month now, so it'd be good to get those, pump our tires a little bit. And yeah, make sure to follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. And I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer, and you'll find me sweating my balls off for the Stars and Panthers. Let's go.
See ya.